Good morning, friends. See, Standard English or BBC English has 44 basic sounds, which we broadly divide as vowels and consonants. There are 20 vowels and 24 consonants. And the 20 vowels we divide again as pure vowels and diphthongs. In our last class, we saw the pure vowels, and now we shall see the diphthongs. Okay? So, there were 12 pure vowels and there are 8 diphthongs. The first diphthong and what is the sound represented by this diphthong? Yes, I. And we have this sound in Malayalam also. Can you give one or two words where we have this diphthong? Fly, life, like, my, life. So, that is the diphthong I. The second diphthong can you give the sound? It is A. One or two words? Name, game, came, late, gate. So, I, then A. And what is the diphthong? It is Oi. One or two words? Joy, boy. Boil, join. Normally, how do we pronounce these words? B-O-Y? We pronounce as boy. Instead of the diphthong oi, we use pure vowels, boy like that, or joy like that, join. No, we have to use the diphthong here. It is boy, joy, a clever boy we say. So, I, A and Oi symbols, you have to be consistent when you use them. This is how we represent it. I said you have to be consistent because in advanced learners and in Daniel Jones the symbols differ. It is better to follow Daniel Jones. So, this is the symbol, and what is the sound? It is ow. Examples: cow, mouth, house. That is a diphthong. This is the diphthong. That is inverted E and the short O sound. And what is the diphthong? Now we have this diphthong in words like NO or KNOW, DOLE, and how do we pronounce these words? NO, no. KNOW, again no. In fact, they are homophones, words having the same pronunciation. Similarly, DOLE, dole, NOTE, note, TOLL, toll, MOST, mouse, POST, pose, postman, we say. But do we use this diphthong? Never. Instead of the diphthong, we prefer or we use a long vowel. We say no, not, dole, like that. So, we should take care to use this diphthong, O. So, I, A, Oi, Ow, O. And what is the sound? Can you give the sound? Short, this is the symbol for short T and this is half ear sound. So, ear, ear, ear. Ear. One or two words? Here, H-E-R-E or H-E-A-R, here. Mere, tear when it is noun. Clear, that is the diphthong, ear. Okay. Small letter E and the inverted E, and the sound is air. We can somewhat represent like this, as in one or two words, there, T-H-E-R-E or T-H-E-I-R, there. Care, B-E-A-R, the animal bear, bear, air. A-I-R, air. So, that is the seventh diphthong, and the eighth one, O-A. One or two words? P-O-O-R, T-O-U-R. How do we pronounce these words? Poor, a poor boy, poor. T-O-U-R, tour. And here also we use, normally we use a long sound. How do you say T-O-U-R? Two. No. The other day we went on a tour, tour. Cure, sure. In all these words we have the diphthong. So, these are the 8 diphthongs right from the beginning: I, A, Oi, Ow, O, and then ear, air, over. Got it? And of the 8 diphthongs, you have to spend some time on this. Why? Because as I have just told you, we never use it. In our pronunciation, this diphthong never comes. Okay? So, ago, never pronounce it as ago, ago. No. Notebook, N-O-T-E, notebook. Okay? So, take care to articulate this diphthong correctly and also use it. So, that is about the diphthongs. So, we have seen the pure vowels and the diphthongs. I think now we shall move on to the consonants. We know there are 24 consonants. Now we group consonants in so many ways. First we shall group them on the basis of their place of articulation, that is on the basis of the speech organs involved. Okay? So, based on their place of articulation, we can classify consonants or group consonants this way, that is consonants belonging to this group. We are using the letters of the alphabet, but there shall not be any kind of ornamentation. This has to be the small letter P without any ornamentation like this. P. Okay. These are the symbols and sounds: P, B, M, W. Then F, V. Okay, can you give me the organs involved, the articulators involved when we articulate these consonants? P, B, M, W. Which are the articulators? Lips. Good. The lips are involved. Both the lips are involved. So, you should note down here both the lips. That is upper lip and lower lip. Both the lips are there. And what about these two sounds, the organs involved? Her articulation we shall see later, but the articulators lower lip and upper front teeth. So, note down like that: lower lip and upper front teeth. Now, we are just noting down the articulators. Okay. So, here both the lips are there, both lips are there, here the lower lip and the upper front teeth. Okay. Group 2, theta symbol, and this is how you have to write the symbol. At times you may write like this, please check, stop here. Okay. And the sounds, what are the sounds? Sounds for the time being, th and the, th and the. The articulation, correct articulation we shall see later in our next grouping. So, the articulators are, just note down the articulators: tip of the tongue and back part of the upper front teeth, tip of the tongue and back part of the upper front teeth. Okay. Group 3, what are the sounds? T, D, N, L, S, Z. And can you give me the articulators? Can you try? T. Tip of the tongue is there, good. Then tip of the tongue and you know this part, that is, first note down the articulators, that is tip of the tongue, tip of the tongue, and this part, this is called the teeth ridge or alveolum. Teeth ridge or alveolum. And you know, this is the convex part immediately behind the upper front teeth. With the tip of your tongue, please feel that part, that convex part. Say t, t, t. The tip will touch this part. This part is the teeth ridge, okay, or alveolum. It is called alveolum. So, articulate these sounds: t, d, n, l, s, z. See, when we articulate these sounds, do we articulate them in the same place? Are these sounds articulated in the same place? T, all of you please try these sounds. Now the question is, do we articulate these sounds in the same place? That is, are the articulators the same? That is the question. If the articulators are not same, that is, if you do not articulate these sounds in the same place, it means you are wrongly articulating the sounds. If you correctly articulate them, you know, all these sounds will be, we can see that all these sounds are articulated in the same place, and the articulators are the tip of the tongue, that is, the tip will touch the teeth ridge. Is it not so? T, D, N, L, S, Z. Okay. So, the articulators. So, for the time being note down the articulators and we shall articulate them in our next classification. So, tip of the tongue and alveolum. Thing is you should know this part. Okay. All right, that is the third group. Fourth group, you know the letter R, and it has so many forms, so many realizations. The commonest one we can take it as R. R. Articulate R, and can you give me the articulators? R. T is an alveolar sound. Tip of the tongue touches alveolum. T, T, R, T, R. So, tip of the tongue and back part of the alveolum. Tip of the tongue and back part of the alveolum. That is somewhere like here, back part of the alveolum. T, R, T, R. Got it? Now, the next group, this is how you have to write the symbol. Anyway, do not write this way, no, that is not. You can write as L, L, begin as L, then that is the symbol. Next one, then and then D and this symbol. So, sounds fish, wish, passion, sh. This one vision, vision, leisure, pleasure, measure, azure. This is ch, teach, each. This is j, judge, joy, join. Okay. Now, the articulators. Articulates are tip of the tongue, alveolum and palate. Tip of the tongue, alveolum and palate. Okay. Tip of the tongue, alveolum and palate. Sounds sh, j, ch and j. Okay. Now, the sounds represented by the small letter j. And what is the sound? Y, y. And the articulators, again note down the articulators, tongue and palate. That is the front part of the tongue and the hard palate. Next group, k, g, ng. The final symbol you can write this way. You write as you begin as n, n, and then elongate one end. This is how. This is how. So, k, g, ng. Again the articulators, k, this part of the tongue, the back part of the tongue, k, and it moves towards the soft palate. You know, this is the soft palate. This is the soft palate, the flexible part which can be lowered or raised, and when we lower, the nasal passage will be open. We will be able to open the nasal passage by lowering. This is called the soft palate or velum, V-E-L-U-M, velum. And you know, actually these parts are important. I am not giving you the terms because I do not want to give you so many terms. What is important is the sounds and symbols. This is called velum. This alveolum, so we call these sounds alveolar sounds. This is velum, the soft palate. So, first note down the articulators, the back part of the tongue. The back part of the tongue moves towards the soft palate. So, the back part of the tongue and soft palate or velum, back part of the tongue and soft palate or velum. So, these are the articulators. Okay. Back part of the tongue and velum, that is the 7th group. And finally, the sounds represented by the letter H. The sound is H, and as you know, it is produced in the glottis. Glottis. Glottis, you know, the space between the vocal cords, it is called the glottis, and this sound is produced in the glottis. So, these are the 24 consonants, and this is how we group them on the basis of their place of articulation, that is based on the speech organs involved. Okay. Now, we shall see how we produce these sounds. That is, here we group consonants on the basis of the way or on the basis of the manner in which we produce them. So, classification based on manner of articulation. Now, again we can divide consonants into so many groups. Group 1, you write the consonants one below the other, so that you can give the corresponding Malayalam sounds also. So, the sounds P, B, and the sounds T. And what is the sound? D. How to articulate? So, in the articulation of these sounds we do not have much problem, because we have corresponding sounds in Malayalam. P no problem, B no problem, some problem is there, because we use a sharper sound as T like that. No, it is T, the sound we have. The tip of the tongue, let the tip of your tongue touch the alveolum, then you will get the sound correctly T. Okay, T, that is it. And this sound, articulate the sounds correctly, let the tip of your tongue touch the alveolum and say the sound D, D, that is a sound. Day, date, do things, D. Did you get that sound? No, but do we use this sound? Do we use this sound? No, for example, how do we say this in Malayalam? Is radio, radio. English? Radio, radio, radio. Try all of you. Radio, radio, radio. And normally, these sounds we represent as D. Is it correct? No, that is my point. That is the point. Is it correct? No. This is a retroflex sound. When we say radio, it is a different sound. RP sound is different, that is the sound in standard English is different, it is D, D. Try, and you should acquire the correct articulation of the sound, that is very important. Okay, D, day, dark, dance, dare, okay, D, D, that is a sound. And RADIO, radio, say radio, radio. Malayalam way? Radio. Got the difference? So, it means this sound has no corresponding Malayalam sound. So, we shall leave the space blank. And K, again no problem, we have that sound. G also no problem. So, P, B, T, D, K, G. This is how this one. That is also different. How do we say? Kada, kada, vada, kada, da. And what is the English sound? D. Got it? Kada, kidam, that is Malayalam, D. But English sound is D, D. So, this sound we have only in Malayalam. The RP, this is the RP sound, for which we have no corresponding sound in Malayalam. Okay. So, the sounds, please articulate the sounds P, B, T, D, K, G, K, G. Second group and we have already seen the articulators. The articulators are tip of the tongue, alveolum and palate, palato-alveolar sounds. Tip of the tongue, alveolum and palate. Okay. Now, the sounds, what are the sounds? Yes, the final sound in teeth. Then j, joy or judge, the initial sounds j. Okay. Do we have the sound in Malayalam? How do we pronounce these words? The first word, teach, of course we have, and this is the sound ch, okay, and this one j, j. Now let us articulate, these words in the Malayalam way and see more about these two sounds. Teach, 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 teach. Concentrate on the last sound, teach, teach. Now, will the tip of our tongue touch the alveolum? No, it won't touch. Good, it won't touch. And again here, joy, joy we say, join. When we say these sounds in Malayalam, the tongue won't touch the alveolum, it will go to the palate, straight to the palate. But in standard English, the tongue should touch alveolum also. Then how to say eat? Try all of you. Teach, teach, judge, judge. So, the tip of the tongue should first touch the alveolum and then it should move to the palate. The point is, the difference is subtle, but you should understand that. The point is, the English sound is different from the Malayalam sounds. These two sounds are slightly different from the Malayalam sounds, which we very often use to represent these sounds. That is the point. Okay. So, somewhat like ch and j. That is the second group. Now, third group, yes, no problem. The sounds are m, n and ng. M. We have corresponding sounds m, n and ng. Again, should be careful when you articulate this sound. It is n, not the n sound which very often we use. Okay, phonetics. It is phonetics, not the phonetics as we say. It is not n. It is n, alveolar sound. T, d, n, l, s, z. It is an alveolar sound. Tip of the tongue should touch the alveolum, teeth ridge. So that is n. Never n, okay, n, number, no, name, like that. So, m, n, ng, the nasal sounds, m, n, ng, okay, that is group 3. for small letter L, again without any ornamentation, do not write this way. And what is the sound? It has different forms. These forms we shall see after discussing these, after finishing this section. And for the time being, you take the sound as L, 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 okay, L. Okay. Again we have no problem with regard to this sound because we have the sound in Malayalam. F, V, Th, D, Sh, S, Z, J and H. Nine sounds. Now let us see how we articulate these sounds. Take the first one. Yes, the articulators are, you have noted down, the articulators are lower lip and upper front teeth. Lower lip and upper front teeth. Okay. And how to articulate? F. That is, you have to bring your lower lip very close to the upper front teeth, but it shall not touch. These articulators shall not touch. Okay. F, F. And then so is the case with this sound V, V. Got it? Now the question is, do we have corresponding sounds in Malayalam for these two sounds? How do we say this word in Malayalam? Phan. We write this way. Is it not so? This is how we say that word in Malayalam, and this is how we write it in Malayalam. Phan. It is P, 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 Phan. But actually the sound is F, F, Fan, fine, fairy, fancy. Okay, F, fan. All of you please try. Fan, fan, fine. Okay. So, do we have a corresponding sound in Malayalam? No, that is the answer. And so is the case with this sound. V-A-N, it is Van, Van. V-A-S-E, was, flower was. V, move, move, V. Okay. So, that is a sound. F and V, F and V. As I just told you, these two sounds have no corresponding sounds in Malayalam. And coming to the third sound, and the articulators are these two sounds. What are the articulators? Tip of the tongue and back part of the upper front teeth. tip of the tongue and back part of the upper front teeth. So, let the tip of your tongue come very close to the back part of your upper front teeth and articulate the sound. Let it not touch. Okay. First, you know, let the tip of your tongue touch the back part and say the sound. It is P. Got it? That is the Malayalam sound. P. When we say P, the tip of the tongue will touch the back part of the upper front teeth. P. No problem. P. And the sound is D. But are these the RP sounds? No. RP sounds are different. How different? How different? In the RP, you know, the tip shall not touch the back part of the upper front teeth. Should come very close, but shall not touch. Got it? So, RP sounds, articulate the RP sound, f. That is, in standard English, it is a fricative. These two sounds are fricative sounds. There will be friction, there has to be friction when we articulate these sounds. So, in the RP or standard English, these sounds are fricative sounds, whereas these sounds th and d are, you know, plosives. Plosives, as we say p, b, t, d, k, g, these are plosives. That is, there the articulators touch. But when we articulate these sounds, the articulators shall not touch. They should come very close, but they shall not touch. So, that is the correct articulation of these sounds, th and the. It is a little difficult for us to articulate these sounds, okay? But you can train yourself. BATH, bath. I saw a strange thing. I am trying to think. Got it? So, bath, bath, and BATHE, bathe. Bathe. So, that is about these two sounds. So, it is very important that we should acquire the correct articulation of these four sounds. Okay. In fact, we do not have corresponding sounds in Malayalam, and what do? We pronounce them in our own way, using our own sounds. Okay. These sounds are actually fricatives in standard English, but they are these two sounds, particular these two, they are, you know, plosives in Malayalam. Actually, they are fricatives. These sounds are fricatives. Clear now? So, please try to articulate these sounds. F, fan, fan, fine. Say fine. Okay. Then van, very much, move. Okay. This one think, then bathe, okay. Now the next one, birds, we have the sounds may be represented this way, sh, but again, so fish, wish, but again slightly different from the Malayalam sh. How different? How does this sound differ from the Malayalam sh? That is, you remember sh, j, ch and j, they are palatal alveolars, that is, the articulators are tip of the tongue, alveolum and palate. But in Malayalam, when we articulate the Malayalam sound, the tongue tip does not touch alveolum, straightaway moves to the palate. So, in English it is wish, ch, ch. Malayalam, no problem, fish, wish, but RP, standard English, ch, ch. Got it? So, that is about the sound also. Since it is slightly different, it is better you put it in a circle just to show that it is slightly different from our Malayalam sounds. Then this sound poses no problem, s. And what about this sound? And how do we pronounce this word Z-double-O? How do we? Yes, even this word we pronounce as su, su like that, but it is zoo, z, zoo, zoo. And again we do not use that sound, there are no corresponding sound. Normally we write like this, s, no, z, z, that is a sound. So, no exact corresponding sound. And the sound, how do we say? Vision, j, vision, vision. And this is what the people of the north pronounce as vision, vision, jan, jan, they say like that. This vision, j, leisure, measure, pleasure, azure, I gave you, j, that is a sound. Again, no corresponding sound. And finally, h, again no problem, because we have that sound in Malayalam, h. Okay. So, this is the fifth group. Sounds again, f, v, f, z, ch, s, z, j and h. All right. One more group. Well, the sounds are, I have already told you this has a number of realizations, forms. Commonest one may be taken as r, no problem, we have the sounds r. And this one, what is the sound? Small letter j representing y. That is the articulators we have already seen. Articulators, tongue and palate, tongue and palate, the tongue moves towards the palate, y, young, university, no problem, we have the sound. And this sound represented by the letter W, what is the sound? Water, w, we round our lips, w. And do we have corresponding sound in Malayalam? Do we have corresponding sound in Malayalam? No. It can't be represented. Water, which, where, why, when, w. But it is important that you should acquire the correct articulation, w. Okay? And we people, that is, we never differentiate these two sounds. Both are, see, wa to us, water, van. We never differentiate. The first is w, water. Second is v, van, v. Okay? But we never differentiate, but you have it to, we do differentiate in British English, okay, in standard English. So, we have seen all the 24 consonants. we saw the place of articulation, that is the organs involved, and also the manner of producing these consonants. All right. Now we shall continue in our next session. Okay. Thank you.